And you're welcome back. Let's continue with our coverage of to break down, the biggest issues that are shaping Nigeria's present and future here on Breakfast Extra. And this week, a major development in Nigeria's energy sector captured headlines as the restarter of operations at the Warri Refinery after a prolonged period of inactivity. Now, this according to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPCL. The refinery is now going to be operating at 60% capacity. Now, for a nation heavily reliant on fuel imports, this restart is being hailed as a potential game changer for energy production, job creation, and economic reform. However, many are asking, what does this mean for the people, especially in Delta State, where the refinery is located? Will this restart mean the expectations of ordinary? What will it mean? Would it meet the expectations of ordinary Nigerians, or will it fall short of its promises? And so to help us explore these questions, we're joined by our special guest today, Mr. Lucky. He's an oil and gas expert, and he joins us live to have this conversation with us this morning. Mr. Lucky, many thanks for joining us. We appreciate you for doing this with us this morning. Let's just get started, shall we? It's now been confirmed that the Warri Refinery will be resuming operations, and it's a significant milestone. One will start. 60% better, half full than half empty. However, many Nigerians remain skeptical about its long-term impact. What's your take on that?
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning, viewers. I think it's a long-awaited development. We're happy that it's already happening in the oil city of Warri. Special thanks to the President for ensuring that the right things are put in place to achieve this feat. Now, for the refinery just coming up with 60% assurance of its operational capacity is a great development in every respect. Especially for those of us in the energy sector, is an opportunity for an investment for the investors that are looking at pumping money into the energy sector in Nigeria, and also an opportunity for people in Delta State, in Warri in particular, and probably the host community of the facility there in Warri. It's also going to give credence to the fact that the Nigerian energy sector is actually on a path of progress. Only last year, the Dangote Refinery kick-started full-scale production of the premium motor spirit, and the issues around crude supply and all of that, and also issues around the pricing of the product, and this goes to show that the deregulation that have been ongoing in the oil sector in the last 25 years or so is becoming a reality, and this liberalization of the sector will lead to competitiveness and also attract more investment. There will now be the other day, the Port Harcourt Refinery was also up for production, for operational, full-scale operation, and for competition in the sector, and also advancement in investment. Because like what you have in the telecom sector under the Obasanjo administration, where you have a monopoly of was it NITEL before the advent of GSM. Obasanjo took that bold step. The right investments were done. Over $200 million was attracted into the national coffers there, bringing telecom companies, these private telecom companies, but I don't want to market them. That's why I don't want to mention their name on your platform. But you saw the rivalry between all three of them that started there. You saw what that created for economy and the opportunities it created for young people and for adults as well. You saw how people took advantage of what the liberalization of the telecom industry presented. That's what we are looking at in the developments in the oil sector, especially the downstream sector as we move on. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Now, I mean, Lucky, I must ask about, a lot of persons have complained that 60% is not enough. It needs to be optimal at 100%. What needs to be done for it to get to 100% optimization?
I think the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. This refinery have been down for a number of years. But the fact that this president have taken bold steps in terms of reforms, in terms of taking the right decisions, you must give it to him. You must give it to him. Although he has a whole lot to grapple with when it comes to the energy sector. Don't forget, the energy sector, that is the oil and gas sector, is our mainstay. 90% of our revenue comes from heat. Our national budget is run and powered by monies accruing from the energy sector. And so the president taking this bold step to see through and follow through what previous administrations have started, to see that is able to achieve what needed to be achieved. And 60% for me, if you score a 60 in an exam, I think that's a B. That's a B. I think 70 is an A. 60 is not a bad number. Fine, more needs to be done. We've got to achieve 100%. We've got to achieve 100% because that facility there have a capacity to take over 250,000 barrels per day. So from the escravos tank from Chevron. Now, if they are doing 60 now, we never can tell what will happen in the next quarter. We're still in the first quarter. We're still in the first quarter of the year 2025. So let's give the chance. I know that they're doing a whole lot around right investment. I'm not speaking for government anyway. I'm only trying to be frank because energy business is not a tomato business. It's not what you walk up to the shelf to just buy. And this facility, was built in the 70s by the Obasanjo administration, leading to the Shagari administration, first term Shagari administration. So these facilities are home. They've been undergoing time. What it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So we've got to be patient and allow those responsible to carry out the necessary actions and steps to do so. And I don't think they're doing bad at all, except for those that are not actually properly informed. Everything has to be done procedurally. I believe before the end of this year, they should be somewhere better than where we are right now.
Mr. Igoyeta, thank you very much for your submission. We've just been told that we have Mr. Victor Ojei with us, if I'm not mistaken. He's joining us right now. So I'm going to be directing my question to you, sir, Mr. Victor Ojei. Now, Mr. Victor, let's talk about the rot inside of the petroleum industry. Let's talk about the fact that these refineries didn't just go moribund just like that, but they were caused to go so, whether they were left to go derelict or because of the internal workings of the people that run it, the management of these refineries. It was not transparent, there was no accountability, there was plenty of corruption. Can we say that the Warri Refinery coming back online now is totally void of these issues that made it go moribund in the first place, or do we need to look more into how these refineries will be run, giving special attention to accountability? Mr. Victor.
To start with, there is going to be mismanagement of the NNPC, the Warri Refinery. We should expect it, owing to the fact that we have a leadership in Nigeria that has no value for accountability. Not until people are held accountable for their misconduct, Nigeria is not going to get it right. There's a lot of corruption going on in the oil and gas sector. We should also consider the factor of the hidden hands that sabotaged all our industries in Nigeria, our textile industries, our steel industries. They were all sabotaged in Nigeria. And these hidden hands, they want to ensure that Nigeria remains poor. They want to ensure that the IMF policies frustrate the Nigerian economy. What is going on in Nigeria is not just an internal crisis or internal problem. We should take note that we have external hands. You can see that before the presidential election, every presidential candidate in Nigeria flew down to United Kingdom for meetings. Take note that before President Buhari became president in 2015, he also flew to United States of America to consult with Barack Obama. So that will let you know that we have a corrupt system. The Nigerian system has been rigged to fail. If you look into the NNPC Warri, the means and methodology of job recruitment, you will see that it's also rigged with corrupt practice. There's no transparency. It is not merit-based. There's poor representation when you talk about the Federal Character Act that gives or that mandates positions to be shared equally among all ethnics in Nigeria, because we are Nigeria. Despite the fact that it is based here in Delta State, which means that our locals, that their soil will be polluted through oil exploration, should have some benefits, and that is where the Local Content Act comes in to protect the interests of the locals. But then the system is rigged. That is why I've always suggested that if we want to get it right this time, because there's going to be vandalism of the pipelines, there's going to be kidnapping, crime rate is going to increase. We also know that, of course, on the positive side, local businesses is going to boost, the local economy is going to improve. But then we should also consider the social dimension of crime control, which is the youth. Because when you look at crime, 90% of those involved in crime, criminal conduct, are basically the youth. What is the NNPC putting on ground to address crime control? Because we should not focus on architecture of crime alone. I'm talking about improving or increasing the number of police, getting more vehicles for police, getting more bullets, getting more ammunition. No. We should look at the social aspect. Look at other crimes, as in Europe, as in US, as in Canada. You see that they operate a social democracy there, which focuses on the welfare of their people. If Nigeria goes into that, it is not a crime. We recall that President Obasanjo is part of the problem of this country with respect to the minority reports of the late 70s, the minority constitution. We had the opportunity of having a minor and a major constitution. The group led by the late Bala Usman and Dr. Segun Oshoba, currently Professor Segun Oshoba, you see that they prepared a minority report, constitution, that would have taken care of the youth of Nigeria. Had it been President Obasanjo was not negligent of the minority report, today, Nigerian youth will be enjoying. Nigerian youth will have benefit from the government.
Victor.
Take take note that every scheme of the government that addresses socio-economic issues, whether from the CBN level, whether from the social investment program from the federal government or the state job creation program, the audience that needs those attention, they are never gotten.
Victor.
That is why crime is going to affect the operations of NNPC, Warri.
Victor.
Unless the government takes care of the youth or our people here.
Okay, Victor, we're going to come back to that, Victor.
Crime is going to affect the operations.
Victor, we're going to come back to that.
Victor, I must ask you then, because the youth, we have to, you've centered the youth, so let's start the conversation there from the youth. This refinery is opening and operating at 60%, as said by the NNPCL, and it will provide jobs, or we hope that it will provide jobs for the youth for Niger Delta, especially for Delta, given that its history with oil and the oil and gas sector has been one that's been harrowing and has affected many communities. Is this a welcome development for the youth at the grassroots level?
It is not a welcome development because of the process of recruitment. Like I said earlier, our people are not considered. Don't let anybody deceive you. The NNPC Warri is not a Delta State government project. It's a private company owned by the federal government that operates under the federal government. So it is not the interest of, let nobody come here and deceive our people that because of NNPC is a Warri, that it will help our people. No. NNPC is more of the northerners.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I mean, if you're saying...
The Southwesterners and the northerners control about the recruitment process. Is it transparent?
So,
are they carrying our people along?
Now let's
If anybody says that it's going to be transparent, let
Victor,
the person give us his contact so that we will hold him accountable and call him out when our people are rejected or they are not considered during the recruitment process.
Victor, now the refinery, although situated in Warri, is also a national entity, which means that everyone has a fair share to it, right? Now we hope that at least some certain level of locals in this region would have access to it in terms of employment. But again, we have to think about other aspects of its criteria of it, which is qualification. If you're not qualified for the jobs and the opportunities or the positions, I beg your pardon, so job descriptions, those responsibilities are going to be open. If there's no, if you don't meet those criteria, there is still some form of informal sector that opens up for it, which is the ecosystem around that area. So for food, for example, housing, shelter, drivers, you know.
Entertainment.
That entertainment. So it still opens opportunity, doesn't it?
That's a misinformation you are giving. No. That's a disinformation.
I think it's unfair. Victor, that's unfair to say that that's disinformation.
Because I am on ground here. We are here. My people, I'm telling you that our people are not carried along. NNPC is a federal government interest in Delta State. They don't carry our people along. I'm saying that if anybody comes here to claim that they are going to carry our people along, give us your contact so that we hold you accountable if our people are not carried along.
Right, Victor, I'm gonna
say the most educated in Nigeria.
I never said that.
One of the most educated in Nigeria. If you talk about entertainment, you talk about professional engineering, you talk about petroleum industry, our people are educated. Delta State, before you count 3 most educated states in Nigeria, you must count Delta State. We are one of the most exposed tribe or region in Nigeria. If you talk about Niger Delta, Delta State is #1. We are educated. We are qualified, whether master's degree, whether first degree, whether doctorate, any level you want to go, we have it.
All right,
we are
Mr.
not
Victor
the
Ojei.
not that has no value for education.
All right, Mr. Victor Ojei, your submissions are very well noted.
Education. So you cannot use education to disadvantage us. We are educated people.
Mr. Victor,
so I have to apologize, right? If you seem to misinterpret what I said or what I meant. I never said that the indigents of Warri or Delta State are not educated or are not qualified for the job. What I said is if they do not meet the criteria, there is some level of informal sector that would be open, and that means opportunities for others as well. That's what I meant. Meaning that there's going to be an ecosystem around that refinery. Don't you think so? That's a question I'm asking. I said that the indigents of Warri are not qualified for the jobs.
I still stand with what I am saying, or like I've said earlier on, the methodology for the job recruitment is not transparent. They should make it transparent. They should make it open. Are you not aware that this is Nigeria? The CBN doesn't make their employment process transparent. A lot of sectors, Nimasa, name it, there are a lot of federal government sector that are high paying. The procedure for recruitment there is not a transparent one. NNPC is not going to be otherwise.
All right, Mr. Victor Ojei. We also still have Mr. Ihoyota
this time is going
that
to
we
be
have
different.
to speak with, Mr. Victor. Thank you very much. Your submissions are well noted, and I do agree with you on some of those grounds. But Mr. Ihoyota, let's talk about the facts that he has raised, that Victor has raised. The social effect of having the refinery come back online, jobs, security, especially security. I find that very interesting, actually. I never thought about it myself, but what's your take?
Thank you very much. And I was laughing when Victor was just reeling and raising his concerns about fairness and equity. I don't think Victor knows what some of us are already doing now around that. I don't work for the NNPC and I don't speak for government or the NNPC. I'm the chairman of the Progressive Union Technical Committee on the Oil and Gas. I'm an energy expert. I've been in the energy sector for about 14 years. Now, the issue is this. I'm also an activist of some sort. All Victor have been saying are true, even though people are also not following up with development. Now, only recently the NNPC embarked on a recruitment program. How many Deltans, how many Robo people, how many Shekiri people, how many
Unfortunately, we are having a communications issue.
Right now. I was only able to get two from Delta State. I published it on my WhatsApp status, on my social media handles. Aptitude tests get across to me. Only 2 persons got across to me. Is that the NNPC's fault? Is that the federal government's fault? Look, when we talk, we must talk with facts. So most of us have been in the trenches fighting for the Niger Delta as well. Even though as professionals, we've put our job on the line, we put our business opportunities in the sector on the line just to speak for our people. So Victor should also be very careful when he talks that the North, Northerners are going to run the refinery. It's not true. We've had Southerners becoming the GMD of NNPC. At some point, what came out of it? As we speak, the present Minister of State for Oil, Minister of State for Oil, Eniki Lukopo is from Bayelsa State. Is that an Hausa man? Is that a Northerner? The immediate past Minister of State for Petroleum, Silva, Timipere Silva, is he from North?
Now, Mr.
Is he from
Ihoyota,
Northern Nigeria? No, I ask, the present commissioner for oil and gas in Delta State, Ojei, is he from elsewhere? The immediate past commissioner for oil and gas, Vincent Oyibode, is it a non-indigenous? Look, it's not a question of indigenization thing. It's a question of putting the right people in the right place. It's a question of putting square pegs in square holes and round pegs in round holes. Even if they put Victor there now on that seat to recruit, Victor, will you recruit the best of hands? Look, we must speak truth to power. I understand his complaints and his plights, but there are better way we can all go about it. This refinery that I've just started is going to create opportunity for Warri people. I'm a Warri boy. As I speak with you now, I'm in Sapele. I'm a full-blown debtor. So Victor should not be talking as if I'm speaking for President Tinubu. Number one, I'm the member of the APC. I'm not a fan of President Tinubu. I'm only talking like a professional here. So that said, talking about the opportunities are here and people should tap in. businesses in that environment is going to boom. BRICS businesses, those selling food, those selling mama food, those doing small, petty business should seize the opportunity. The refinery is back. Our people should take advantage.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Well, gentlemen, I must say thank you to both yourself, Lucky and Victor, for taking out the time today to join us for this conversation. It is clear the Warri Refinery will start at 60%. Still, whether or not 60, 100, we'd like to look at the cup half full, and that means that indirectly the community, directly and indirectly the community at large will benefit from it. Gentlemen, thank you again.